guys so much for coming, and I mean that wholeheartedly. And also, if we could all thank these guys for coming too. These are current partners of ours, the Boulevard and Earth Mother, and then we also have a couple other partners that couldn't be here tonight due to scheduling and stuff, but they do have some offers that I'm looking forward to letting you guys know what's going on, okay? All things that I think will help out with this particular journey, all right, and the end result, all right, which is really what this is all about, okay? Got a question?
Discounts on spas, on the spas.
Discount? No, not for you. Just over I'm teasing. Yeah, actually, I've got a slide that's going to tell you exactly what they're offering, which is a lot of good stuff. And also, they're here for good reason, guys. When I get done, I'm going to try to wrap my thing up kind of quick. And I think that they both have enough things with them and information with them that I really want you guys, when I get done with my little spiel, to go check out both tables. Okay, I'm going to try to make it make sense on what they're offering for the challenge. But as far as why they're here, they would like to meet you, they would like to talk to you, they would like to hand you some information or answer any questions that you have about their business. Okay? All right, we're ready to go. First things first, now this is a drop 2 sizes seminar, okay? So it's kind of like almost anti-scale, okay? Is anybody anti-scale in here? Look at this woman right here, what's she doing? She's on a scale, but what's she doing? Is she smiling? Okay. Now, there's gotta be some kind of secret. She knows or something, right? She's smiling on the scale. That's not normal, okay? All right, what's the secret? You ready? Here it is.
Yeah.
Right? I'll give you just a minute to kind of recognize that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's pretty much the only way to smile on the scale that I know of, and I'm a fitness coach, okay? Now, a couple quick questions, okay? Have you ever been planning to start, like on Monday, like every Monday sort of thing? You ever done that? I know I have. What about, do you have an outfit or a pair of jeans that you keep hoping you'll feel confident enough to wear again? Okay? I know I have. And I know I have some. Are you ready to learn what it takes to transform your body and reinvent yourself? Hopefully, because that's why you're here. Look around, guys. This is not a big crowd. But raise your hand, does anybody know anybody else that might benefit from dropping 2 sizes? All right? So pat yourselves on the back for showing up, okay? And I mean that, okay? This is really about transformation and change. Now, has anyone ever had like information overload go down? Okay, you got the online guru, you got the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, like glute bridges or whatever they're showing you nowadays, and then you got the friend who always looks great, always has, and they're like, why don't you just do what I do? And then you got influencers, whatever your favorite celebrity protocol. I had a guy tell me the other day that, well, he just like, he wants to be more like The Rock. And I'm like, dude, I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, me too, man, me too. What about the news? They've always got some kind of 2 cents on what your health should look like and how it should be, and they're mostly paid for by pharmaceutical companies. Diet magazines or books. What about the new drug or the new shot? Okay, which I'm not anti, medications or anything like that. I'm just trying to figure out, is it working? What about the new TV show, like The Biggest Loser? Or what about, now that that's over with, the documentary that come out about The Biggest Loser? I mean, because I've been doing this for a profession since like The Biggest Loser was just starting, and everyone would go, why don't you do it like Jillian? And I'm like, for a decade and a half, I've been like, because that's not long-term success, it's just, it wouldn't work. And I'm not dogging Jillian, I'm just literally saying that was an entertainment TV show that none of them had any idea how it was gonna go because they weren't following science or plans or protocols. So in this case, now there's a documentary about it and everyone goes, oh my God, I can't believe they signed up for that. I'm like, I know, right? Anyways, truth is people don't know what's right for them, okay? So do you know what's right for you? Is kind of the question, and hopefully, if you don't, that's why you feel like you're here. First things first, though, life just ain't fair. All right, right? Genetics plays a role in all of this. Your environment plays a role. Your income can play a role. I get it. Schedule plays a role. I do get it. It's not fair. If you will just buck up with me and admit that, then we're like step 1's over. Okay, we already know it's not fair. Now, what do I do about it? Okay. Well, maybe you could hire a fitness coach, okay? Why in the world would you hire me? Well, this is totally all battle-tested stuff. This is all backed by science. I'm going to pour you stuff with a little bit of science here in a minute. But it's not just me making it up or hyping you up, okay? I'm a real professional fitness coach. I've had real clients for many years who get real results every day. I'm the only personal training gym in Farmington that has professional affiliations with industry-leading companies in fitness, nutrition, and technology like Results Fitness University, Prestige Lab Supplements, Life Pro Recovery, like our vibration plates over there, for example, Perform Better Fitness Equipment, Nominally, Bridge Athletic, and several more. And these are all companies that I've met with the founders and owners and help elaborate some feedback for them so that we can make our clients' journeys better, okay? I founded Sullivan Personal Training, SPT, back in 2012, okay? As a professional fitness coach, I've trained thousands of clients in the past 15 plus years with many successful stories I'm very proud of, even though I didn't do the work. I have been a consultant at NBC Select online for fitness articles and guidance before. I was also featured on Jim Lord's podcast for representing successful gyms like in our industry and personal training gyms in the Midwest. Because if you look around, it's not a super popular thing in the Midwest. It's different, okay? You go to the coast, this thing is sort of happening a little bit everywhere. But again, how many of us know somebody in our local area right here that maybe could afford to drop 2 sizes? And not just because we care. What do we care what size anybody is? But we do care about people, don't we? We do care about our loved ones, and hopefully we care about ourselves, and that's what this is about, okay? Now, currently, one of my business coaches, personal training coaches, and mentors in life is Rachel Cosgrove. She's the inventor of Drop 2 Sizes. I like bragging on her a little bit. Oh, let me back up for a second. Who the heck is this guy? Just for fun, I put him up there. I'm like name dropping like crazy. This is Don Saladino. He is the personal trainer for currently like Ryan Reynolds and his wife Blake Lively. Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool, and he is also Hugh Jackman's personal trainer. And through this connection, he got to be like, he is the Marvel superhero personal trainer, Don Saladino. He's well known for that. So like here's me and Don right here at an event. Some more name dropping. Here's Rachel right here with me. Here's Rachel's husband, Alan Cosgrove. Rachel and I are working out right here. This is a founder of Nominally, which is a fancy software we use to communicate and track all of our clients' stuff that we got going on. This is Dr. Ariane Missimer, a breathing and diaphragm and airway specialist that we've worked with. This is Lee Burton and Coach Ethan right there in the background, who's my other fitness coach on staff, and that is him. That Lee Burton is the founder of Functional Movement Systems all the way back from 1997, and Simeo. You guys have a paper called Simeo there. Lee Burton is also co-founder of Simeo Wellness, which is fancy stuff nowadays. And here's just a bunch of group pictures of me being in mastermind events with like-minded gym owners and entrepreneurs and people that are trying to do what I do, but from all over the world, which is really fun and cool. So I take my professional development very serious. On the other side, the other thing that's very serious to me that I'm very passionate about is my family. I'm a family man through and through. Everyone will always know that. I treat my business like a team. And you know, my family is my family, so I'm big on that. But here's just a couple pictures. Me and my buddy Sawyer, who's running around here somewhere. I've lost him already. This is my beautiful wife right here with me, us on the beach. This is my daughter Adrienne, who's gonna be 12 next month. And then just some fun vacation pictures from this last trip to Branson. We love to go out in the woods and hunt, spend time together just outdoors. Us at a Cardinals game. Here's my son out at our back porch at this new punching bag that we got just the other day. This is my dad and I starting out on a 75-mile bike ride on his 75th birthday that he asked for. That's what he wanted for his birthday. So we gave it to him. But this is just an idea of what is truly near and dear to my heart, which is my family, outdoors, and just the ability to move and feel good, okay? Enough about me though. Back to Rachel. Who the heck is she? What's going on there? She actually invented this program back in 2009 at her gym in Santa Clarita, California. It's very successful. 2013, she published the book on it called Drop 2 Sizes. You can buy it on Amazon if you like. This is the cover of it. And essentially, she became a best-selling author. That was one of her first books, where that was the case. Thousands and thousands of women have done this program, okay, all over the world. And it has been successful, and it will work for you guys too, okay? She's also been a consultant to Nike, Gatorade, Live Strong, written articles for both women's health and men's health magazines, and again, written a couple other best-selling books as well, such as Age Strong and The Female Body Breakthrough. And Rachel's very open about her age, so I don't think she might be telling you this, but she just turned 50 years old, and she brags all the time about how, when she started personal training, she started with a certain demographic of people and as clients, and now she's that demographic. And I think that's really a neat way to put it. So when I work with this demographic also, which is generally my ladies, anywhere from 40 to 60, and generally speaking, going through different hormone balance changes and things like that, I have Rachel as a mentor and a coach, which is really important to me. That's been really beneficial. So anyways, any big stories or questions you guys got, we'll call Rachel, okay? Drop 2 sizes is back by popular demand. This is not the first time I've ran this challenge. I've ran it several times back in pre-COVID, and then post-COVID was 2021. I did it a couple times that year. And we just have a lot of fun, and there's always good results, okay? As long as you stick with it, all right? Now, internal feedback versus external feedback. Let's get into it, okay? This is really something that I think matters because external feedback might be something like the scale, okay? For example, we're working out, we start a nutrition plan, we're eating better, we're feeling better. Can you guys see this okay? Okay, cool. We're eating better, we're feeling better, all right? We're like, I feel great. We got the smile going, we get on the scale, turns from that to this, okay? And when we go, I feel great, and the scale says, no you don't. And then you get off, you're like, oh my God, it might be right. You know, isn't that insane? We let the scale tell us that, and then we believe it. It's the craziest thing. You could have felt great getting on it, it told you you were wrong, and then you stepped off and, yep, guess I was wrong. Now, that's fair, but we quit in that moment, don't we? A lot of times we're like, this ain't working, okay? So I want to make tonight make sense, why that happens and how we can avoid it, okay? All right, here's some boring science I told you about. 27 people on a very low calorie diet, okay? 800 calories a day or less, okay? Lost an average of 19 pounds in 8 weeks. Now you guys are gonna do something similar for 8 weeks, okay? These individuals lost 19 pounds in 8 weeks. Here's the problem, 32% of it was lean muscle tissue. What am I saying here? Okay, out of 19 pounds lost, 13 pounds of it was fat and 6 pounds of it was muscle. Okay, so very low calorie diet, no workouts. They lost 19 pounds, okay, but a lot of it was muscle. Now let's talk about why that might be a problem. Somebody might say, who cares, Kyle? I just want to lose the 19 pounds, okay? So here's what's going on. Bear with me on this for a minute because there's a lot of information. If my average female client comes in at 180 pounds and she says, I would just do anything to lose 19 pounds, and we say, cool, do a very low calorie diet. We've seen that works for people. So she does it, and she loses 19 pounds. She's 161 pounds, okay? Now, I won't bore you trying to break down the math for you, but out of the 19 pounds, 6 of it was muscle mass, okay? Now, after a little bit of time, what happens? Old habits die hard. You must gain that weight back, right? Now, when you gain that weight back, let's see if this little one is working. When you gain that weight back, right here, the 19 pounds, how much of it is muscle? None of it. Normally, none of it. Gaining muscle is much more difficult than just like doing what you want and eating what you want and somehow you gain a bunch of muscle, okay? It's more difficult than that. So my point is we will lose the weight, we lose 6 pounds of muscle in the process, we gain the weight back, we gain no muscle. We're 6 pounds down right now, but we weigh the same. But, hey, I know. I've got an idea. I did this very low calorie diet thing before, and it helped me lose 19 pounds. I'll just do that again. So we do it again, we lose the weight again, but it's another 6 pounds of muscle. Then what happens? Holidays show up, it's Christmas, it's us. I'll join the gym in January, I'll call Kyle in February, okay? And like the reality is we gain it back, don't we? Now, just in a couple yo-yo scenarios here, we've lost the weight, we've gained the weight, we've lost the weight, we've gained the weight. Now you weigh the same at the end of the year, and you're 12 pounds down in muscle mass, which is that metabolic tissue that is very hard to get back. So you weigh the same, and you're less strong, and you have less energy, and you have less metabolism. And that's a snowball that we get into, and it's hard to get out of once you're lower and lower and lower in muscle as we get older, okay? All right. Thanks for bearing with me on that. Now, 800 calories per day, which is very low calories, okay, very low calories, not what I'm recommending here, just some science here, from back in 1993, okay, a study on muscle hypertrophy, okay, and large-scale weight loss, all right, but 800 calories, average weight loss was 35 pounds, all subjects increased the cross-sectional area of their muscle fibers significantly. What does that mean, okay? This means that they lost 35 pounds, while at the same time, appears that weight training can produce hypertrophy and skeletal muscle mass, therefore increase metabolism, even during severe energy restriction and large scale weight loss. So what ended up happening was they ended up significantly increasing their cross-sectional fibers of their muscle, which is kind of what shows that you're strong, while losing 35 pounds, okay? That can be done even on a very low calorie diet, but what they had to do is right here. This is what they did to make that happen, okay? So the last study was all about someone being on 800 calories a day, lost 19 pounds and a bunch of it was muscle. They did no working out. In this case, 800 calories a day. For the amount of time they did it, they lost 35 pounds and they actually increased muscle fibers, okay? And what is the difference of this group and that last group? Lifting weights, okay? Lifting weights, because the difference wasn't the nutrition in this case, it was whether or not they lifted weights. All right, moving on. What have we learned so far? This is a quiz. Said, don't step on it, it makes you cry, okay? Just trying to lighten the mood a little bit because we gotta get kind of serious now, okay? So all jokes set aside, okay? This is called a challenge for a reason, all right? This is the drop 2 sizes in 8 weeks challenge, all right? What is a challenge? All right, well, it's called to take part in a contest or a competition, especially a duel, all right? Like he accepted the challenge. To me, this challenge is with yourself. This is a duel with yourself, okay? And I know some of us have lost this duel before, but you don't have to this time because you're not alone. That's the difference, okay? Now, I'm gonna go back. I like this part too. Invite someone to engage in a contest. Did anyone in here invite someone to come with them? It's okay if they didn't come. See, invite them. They still got time, okay? Not tonight, but invite them with you when you come in for your workouts next week, okay? All right, cool, gotcha. All right, key points of the seminar. Number 1, why strength training matters. I'm gonna try to prove that to you. Number 2, protein and balanced eating. We're gonna talk about it. Number 3, hormone balance equals better results, okay? Some of us might be here to hear about the hormone side, okay? And I'm not gonna get too far into the weeds, but I will say Miss Melanie has some great products that will be beneficial for that department as well. Why strength training matters. First things first, you gotta lift to burn fat, okay? Lift more weights to burn more fat, okay? Strength training builds lean muscle, which burns more calories 24/7. More muscle equals a higher metabolism even at rest. Bottom line, the more muscle tissue you have, the higher your metabolism is, which means the more calories you burn at rest. Most of us are at rest most of the time. We just can't not be, okay? So we need a high metabolism, okay? And we also want to help maintain strength and bone density as hormones shift through perimenopause and menopause and even postmenopause. Okay, I should have put post in there. All right, but with that said, does anyone here get annual or biannual bone density scans? Anyone ever done that? Osteoporosis, osteopenia, those are the things that start showing up when they start wanting to scan your bones every 6 months to 2 years. In this case, I have seen, with strength training, I've seen people reverse from osteopenia to no problems at all, for example. Okay, so if you're concerned about bone density as our hormones are shifting, then strength training is one of the #1 ways you can counteract that problem. Okay? All right, now I put up a bunch of pictures here of athletes, professional and Olympic athletes. Okay, they all look pretty good in my opinion. And even some celebrities, like red carpet status type stuff, okay? Now, has anyone ever looked at an amazing athlete on TV or even in person, or an amazing celebrity in a magazine or TV or in person, and went, or on the phone, that's phones, what am I talking about? Magazines, I forget. Okay, so anyways, point is, who's ever looked at an amazing, beautiful celebrity or Olympic athlete, elite level athlete, been like, gosh, I just wish I could look like them all the time, okay? Well, probably all of us in here, all right? The truth about these people, though, athletes in general and celebrities too, okay, is that they peak, okay? So you may be looking at them at a point in time, you're like, they look amazing in this photo right here. That may be, I'll go back for a second, that may be a photo where they train for their peak. You're looking at these photos of them at the sprinters at the finish line, they've been doing nothing but obsessing over that for months and weeks and years and periodized programming to get there. Of course they look amazing right there, okay? But they also have valleys. So not only do they peak and have peaks, but they have valleys of regular people, okay? Hey, Christine.
Hey.
Thank you for coming in. So the bottom line is I do think we need to recognize that most of the time that we see them on camera, it would make sense that they know they're going to be on camera, so they get fixed up, right? Like we kind of have a joke where we're like, hey, you clean up nice, right? Well, it just boils down to celebrities and you know, models and everybody else and athletes. They're doing that on purpose, and we need to kind of just make sure that we realize, like, hey, we can do that too, okay? We can do it on purpose, all right? Lori, are you trying to do a workout real quick? What you doing over
No,
there?
I was trying to help her.
Oh, thank you. I'm just teasing. Thank you, Lori.
Hey,
All right, here's something also about celebrities and all these people that we tend to look up to, okay? They walk with confidence. That's called swagger, okay? They behave and walk like they're attractive. And so, we assume they're attractive, okay? And I'm just trying to teach us that, hey, we can have peaks and valleys too if we build them into our plans and our protocols, all right? Like our training programs, for example. And we can also walk around and behave like we've got some confidence. I do think that matters, okay? You will feel better if you walk with a little swagger, okay? All right.
it does.
We want to take a good hard look at our schedule going forward. If you're going to be part of this program, the truth is we've got to commit, okay? Now, this says down here in real light letters, I commit to do whatever it takes for the next 8 weeks. That is the mantra I want you to have, okay? So start now, obviously. Now, this is a blank calendar because everyone's calendar in here looks different, okay? But I want you to take a good hard look at your Monday through Sunday, and we got to start pre-planning. Planning ahead is going to be the key to all of this, okay? It's not going to be overcomplicated. It's just going to be work to plan. And if that's what we're not used to doing, then that's going to be the change, okay? All right? Now, if we're going to plan out our training workouts, if we're going to plan out our nutrition and stuff, what does that look like? Should be pretty good, right? So this is just me trying to explain the difference between randomized workouts and periodized programming. Now, randomized workouts, when does that happen? That tends to happen, just for example, not to knock on anybody or any place or anything like that, but it tends to happen. Has anyone in here ever had like a box gym membership where you just swipe the key card in and kind of go do whatever you want, whenever you want? So that happens, randomized workouts happen a lot. Okay, like I'm gonna make it to the gym today, and you go, and you get there, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, not that I have no clue, but like I don't know which workout I want to do today. Maybe today's leg day. Maybe today's arm day. Well, usually you might say it's leg day, then you go do arm day, right? So it just boils down to like we do this randomized thing. Well, if you have a randomized program that you're following, you probably have randomized visits. Okay, so here's a pretty typical like visit chart for especially box gyms. This happens in personal training sometimes too, but this is like all year, right here, January through December. So everyone knows we're going to get kind of a rush going on January, February, okay? Now that tapers down in March and April, especially people start traveling in April, they're pretty pumped to like the weather to straighten out. May though, they've been partying since spring break, and May, they're like, oh, summer's coming around. It's almost June, right? I've got to go get on the boat soon. I'm not ready for that. So we see a bunch of spikes in memberships when it comes down to May. They taper down drastically from there, if you can imagine. People traveling, going to the lake, going to the rivers, things like that. People think the gym's busy in the summertime. Go drive by any one you want. They're empty because people are out doing other things, okay? And that's okay, but my point is we're going to talk about results and if that works. So there's a big jump in fall every year. As soon as the kids go back to school in August, okay, and summer wraps up, we see a big spike in memberships and visits in September and October. And that's not just in my world, but that's in the box gym world for sure. And then holidays show up. People get extra busy. There's a party every weekend come Thanksgiving and Christmas, okay? There's stuff going on. We drop the visits. Now, I'm just kind of pointing out that if we kind of do this random thing and let our calendar control our visits, then the truth is we're probably going to be low at the end and be needing some kind of big, massive rush. And this is completely random. There's no real results. Now, if we take charge of our calendar and we plan our visits and we plan our eating and we plan our workouts to build off of each other each week, okay, then what we want to do is we're going to plan for a few weeks in a row to progress each week, okay? Once we get to a peak, like I was explaining about our celebrity friends, all right, once we get to a peak of like, hey, I've really progressed 3 or 4 weeks in a row now, okay? If we get to a peak of progress, we're gonna step you down on purpose and make things a little bit simple again, okay? And teach you something different. That way we can climb a new peak, okay? So we'll climb up, another few weeks of progress, and then we'll purposely step you down. Now notice, every time I step you down, it's still gonna be a nice step higher than the step before, okay? So the reality is in this case, we're taking charge of our visits, we're taking charge of our calendar. Now we can actually plan the results we want to have. Like maybe I want to fit in jeans in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 weeks. Does that make sense? Okay, let me keep going. We need a system that is proven to work. Not this guesswork here, and we hope it works. And I just get to say I have a gym membership and I go. It's like, is it working? Okay? So a proven system that works. All right, this basically is just another study. all the way back from 1994, not brand new science here, this is science we know about and known about for a long time, that proves that aerobic training is much less efficient for fat burning than anaerobic training or interval training, okay? And so again, the whole summary here is interval training groups show 9 times greater loss in subcutaneous fat than the endurance group. So we're not gonna go on a bunch of marathon runs to do this, okay? We've got to lift weights, okay? I'm gonna explain that too. Now, walking and physical activity and running, it's all good, but it's not as efficient as the weight training, okay? This is what it looks like to be a member here and do some training sessions with us, okay? Everybody in this video clip here is doing an individualized program for themselves. It's customized based on mobility and goals, and this is just one little piece of their workout individually. Here's my son and my wife doing the battle ropes here in the middle. All fun stuff, okay? But this is an example of strength exercises that we do for metabolic purposes, okay? What's the priority here? 2 to 3 times a week, okay? If you're signed up with the Drop 2 Sizes for us, if you're signing up tonight, then ideally you're gonna get at least 2 strength training sessions in a week with us, okay? There is a remote option if you've been looking at the payment form flyer. There's a remote option, which means you don't do them here, you do them where you want to through our app. But there is the in-person option, which is where we will pre-book 2 sessions per week for the 8 weeks for you in here in person, and we'll customize that training plan, and we'll walk you right through it, just like we do these individuals here. If you want to upgrade from the 2 times a week to 3 times a week, we can chat about that, just ask, no problem, okay? Strength workout components. What does this strength workout really consist of? First off, it should take 45 to 60 minutes, okay? If it takes longer than that, we're goofing off, and if it's shorter than that, we skip something, okay? Now, mobility and myofascial release, like foam rolling and things like that, that's how we always get started, okay? Then we go into more of a dynamic warm-up. We're actually gonna move the body, make sure that we're turning balance and nervous system on before we start actually strength training. We'll tap into the core and stability type of muscles, make sure everything's feeling good and healthy, and then we'll increase power development and make sure that we are really getting everything activated and engaged before strength training. Next, we go into all 7 movement patterns depending on which routine you're on that day, because if we're training twice a week, we're gonna do a routine and a B routine. We're gonna mix up these movement patterns so it won't feel the same, but it'll be really smart, okay? If that makes sense, all right? Lastly, we'll finish with some kind of metabolic finisher, which sounds terrifying. Really, we usually either find some steady pace cardio for you to do, depending on your fitness level, like for example, some of our cardio corners over there, or we might do some kind of interval cardio depending on your goal and your fitness level, okay? So it's not so scary as it sounds. Bottom line is this should take 45 minutes to an hour, and it should feel very custom to you because you'll move better, feel better, and maybe even look better after every session, okay? So you should be walking out of here feeling better than when you came in, and that's because of a proper warm-up and a proper cool-down sequence, okay?
Sweaty.
Maybe a little sweaty, what do you know? Always been hitting it 3 times a week with us. All right, this is a terrible picture. I know it blurred on me when I stretched it out is what happened, but this was me trying to show you guys the movement patterns I was talking about. I mentioned 7 basic movement patterns that we tap into for strength. Well, what are they? It's not arm day and leg day and, whatever, butt day and back day and head day, okay? That's a whole different style of programming that won't help you drop 2 sizes in 8 weeks, okay? What will is practicing each of these movements a couple times each week, okay? And if we can't do it with a load, then the body weight needs to be what we learn with. Okay, so let us teach you how to do each one of these things really well with your body first. When you can show us that, we'll progress you and let you try to do it with some kind of a load somehow. But the truth is, even when I hand you a load, I don't want it to change the way you just moved your body during an exercise. And so we're gonna progress as we need to in strength. The most important thing before we start really strength training is actually movement competency and making sure that we have good motor control and movement quality, okay? So we've got a system that we use to help us actually verify what movement patterns here you're looking at when we're customizing your strength training plan to figure out needs more corrective exercise strategy or motor control, mobility, stability, all prior to just jumping straight into strength training and conditioning, if that makes sense, okay? So these are just ways we customize things. Now, I tried to explain the taking charge and the periodizing our calendar, okay, so that we know we have results, okay? In the strength training world, this is kind of a little bit more detailed example here. So this is what I call the SPT strength training model program, okay? Week 1, for example, okay, we'll start a brand new program you've never done before, okay? We're gonna do 1 or 2 sets only with light weight to learn the new exercises, okay? That's if we use any extra weight at all. Week 2, second week on the program, we'll be more familiar with the exercises so we can increase the volume to 2 or 3 sets, okay? You might go up on loads on a couple exercises that week, you might not, okay? Christy trains with me, she knows kind of how
I was
this
gonna
works.
say, my last routine wasn't the easy.
Yeah, I understand.
I wondered when they went.
I understand. She's like, where was my week 1?
I did.
That's what happens when you're beast mode like Christy, then things change. By week 3, okay, we're not newbies no more, we're not rookies no more. We've practiced a couple times for a couple weeks now, we've increased volume. Usually by week 3, your nervous system's catching up, the muscle tissues are catching up, your confidence is catching up, you're going, give me that next heavier weight up, I think I can try that. So by week 3, we want to increase the loads, okay, and boost the intensity, okay, where it's appropriate and your body knows. We bump the weight up again on 2 or 3 exercises, but maybe not all of them. By week 4, especially if we're training 3 times a week, by week 4, we should be hitting like our 12th workout 3 times a week, okay? We should have some kind of a record week. This is what we call shock week. I like to call it peak week sometimes, but it boils down to like when we know you put the training into this program and now we're going to be finishing it up soon. We want to see how much we can get out of it. That's when we boost that intensity up a little bit more. You might even miss a rep because we're kind of going heavy, and that's absolutely fine, okay? The bottom line is we climbed a peak again, didn't we? Just like I was talking about progress, peak. Okay, then let me personally rewrite a new phase knowing what you just completed. Okay, we're gonna call it phase 2 now, all right? And technically, we gotta go back to like a new week 1, okay? A new week 1 should look and feel something like this because it's a new phase, but let's make sure it's always a step up from before, okay? So when we climb this next peak, it will be higher than that one again, okay? And that's the goal in intensity, and that's the goal when it comes down to what we call overload progression, okay? That's strength training 101, guys. It really doesn't work any other way, okay? Now, oh, and why are we strength training? Because it's good for your metabolism, okay? It's good to be strong for a lot of reasons, but I'll leave that up to you guys, but strength is important for the metabolism. Metabolism is important for burning fat and keeping it off. So I don't want to just sound like a big muscle head up here. It really is about burning the fat and keeping it off forever. The people that burn the fat, or people that lose the weight and gain it back, okay, and it's okay if we've ever done that, but the reality is we can stop doing it like that. We can lose the weight and keep it off, but we have to take care of our muscles, okay? Now, I talked a lot about strength training and metabolism. That's because it's important, okay? Hopefully I've got that across. All right, but if you're only training with me 2 or 3 times a week, we can't just be sitting on the couch watching CSI the other hours, okay? Right? So I do require some, I say require, I mean, I'm not holding no guns to nobody, but my point is if you want to drop 2 sizes in 8 weeks, what we got to do is we've got to track some more physical activity throughout the day, okay? My recommendation for this 8 weeks is 15 to 30 minutes. You can do more. Please do, if you're up for it. You got the energy, you got the time, okay? But my point is let's make a non-negotiable 15-minute minimum per day of physical activity. Now, I want to be real clear on what that is, or could be, okay? 5 to 7 days a week. Recommendations for more daily activity outside the gym. To hit your daily activity units include lifestyle movement stuff, brisk walk, power walking, neighborhood, trails, shopping centers. Okay, be careful, ladies, okay? Taking the stairs instead of the elevator or the escalators, okay? That could be at work, that could be on vacation, okay? That could be at home. Yard work or gardening, I know what time of year it is, so it might not be cutting grass, but maybe raking, maybe mowing. Leaf blowing, of course, and shoveling is coming up soon. Cleaning or organizing projects, like vacuuming, mopping, moving furniture. Does that count as my physical activity, Kyle? Yes, absolutely. Track it. It's just once you've done it, we gotta do it again tomorrow or whatever. Maybe you don't need to move furniture twice in 1 week, but you know, that's my point. Yes, it counts, okay? And do it and track it, okay? And I'll show you what I mean by tracking here in just a minute. Active commuting or walking, active commuting simply means walking to work, or walking to school, or walking to your friend's house, or whatever. Not always in a position or spot that we can do that, but there's those others, okay? Now, I'm not just leaving you with the boring stuff, all right? I'm giving you this much more. Cycling. Outdoor or indoor, okay? Swimming or water walking. That's a new thing, right? That's not very new by any means, but like the water park was doing that during the summer, during their lazy river. I think that was so cool. Water walking. Hiking. Of course, we got a lot of local parks and nature trails. Rowing, whether it's a machine or in a kayak or a canoe. Elliptical or recumbent bike set, if you got things like that. All right, what about got fun social activities, dancing. We've got, just do it at home. You can sign up for a Zumba class somewhere, which I don't have here. You can do line dancing. I know they do line dancing at Brothers Pub, one evening a week at least, okay? I don't think it costs anything. I think people just show up and it's awesome. They start breaking out line dance. I think it's great. It's like great exercise. TikTok challenges. All right, I should have done this. Like, I wish my daughter was here so I could be like that. But do it, whatever. Track it. If you can do 15 minutes of that, count it, okay? Now, pickleball, tennis, badminton, these are all things that are getting more and more popular. They're things that you can do indoor nowadays, especially at the Civic Center. Basketball, frisbee, disc golf, playing with kids or pets. Games like, silly games like tag, you know, just old school chase. Maybe you go out there and play stickball or something, but something fun, and this counts as your physical activity for the day, okay? I'm really encouraging it. Now, here's where we get a little bit more technical. We're like, oh, I want to work out. Well, okay, even if it's not strength training. Simio app, okay, that's California Flyer. I went ahead and gave you guys all one, okay? The Simio app has two things, or the Flyer has two things with it, okay? The first thing on top is a free self-screening assessment. You can do it on your phone. It's great. Christy, have you done that for me yet? No, that's great. It's a new tool for us, but it's amazing. I told you the founders of FMS, Functional Movement Systems, who Ethan and I are certified through. They created Simio. It's a very, very cool app. So the point is the self-screening is free, okay? Now, if you want a program, like a recovery, wellness, stretching, breathing program, to be customized based on how your screening went, okay? And you'll scan the bottom QR code there for $10 a month. You sign up right there, you can cancel anytime you want, but it will automatically generate a custom program for you as an individual based on the idea that it knows your screening scores and all that good stuff, okay? So Simio is really, really, really great for the wellness recovery side of things, okay? And for example, whether you're strength training twice a week or let's say you're too hurt to strength train twice a week, I would recommend doing Simio instead. When you do the Simio screening assessment, it's gonna ask you, did you have any discomfort doing that? Because you touch your toes? No. Did you have pain doing it? Yes. So it's not gonna give you things that would cause things to get worse. It'll only give you things that help it recover, okay? Simio is so cool, it's neat, guys. Yoga, Pilates, stretching sessions, foam rolling. I mentioned myofascial release earlier. Get a foam roll for your house, guys. You can get one for 10 bucks and have them at your house and count it. Foam roll for 5 minutes and count it for me, okay? Mini metabolic boosters, okay? Like, none of that stuff's tough enough for me, Cal. I need something real hardcore, okay? Short movement snacks. Give your body a movement snack. 10 or 15 minutes of bodyweight circuits. You can climb stairs. You could do jumping jacks for a minute at a time, times 5, okay? So you can do exercises if you want. That's not a requirement. You can also do something over here that seems a little more fun or whatever, okay? They all count as minutes of physical activity, okay? Intervals during TV time. Turn CSI back on. Just get off the couch. And when it comes to commercial, which, do we even watch commercials anymore? I got like one TV that I have commercials on, and then like the rest of my kids already kind of got rid of that. Because the streaming apps are different, that's my point. But I'm a cable guy, I go old school, and I like to flip through the channels and all that. So my point is yeah, I watch commercials. It would work great for me. If you're binge watching Netflix, then I guess there's no commercials. I would choose a different activity to record for the day, okay? Everyone good on that? Got the boring stuff over here, like go for a brisk walk. And then I tried to give you a lot more examples on how open I am to what counts as physical activity. Cool? Okay, cool. Key point number 2, protein and balanced eating, okay? Protein balanced eating, we've got to fuel the metabolism. If I had not said that enough, there it is, okay? High protein meals preserve muscle in a caloric deficit. I just can't say that enough. That was some of the studies I showed you earlier. If you're going to be in a caloric deficit, you don't want to lose muscle, you have to eat protein, okay? The other thing that I covered was you also have to lift weights, okay? Those are the 2 things that are proven scientifically to reduce lean body mass, decrease while in a caloric deficit, okay? Which is just crucial for us, okay? Protein plus balanced carbs and healthy fats equals steady blood sugar and energy levels, okay? Has anyone been on like the energy roller coaster before? Right? Like I just ate, I don't know, I had a cinnamon roll. Like, oh man, that's great. Good, man, today's gonna be a great day, you know? And then in like 20, 30 minutes, you're like, I could have a snack again. I guess I'll wait till lunch because I just had a big cinnamon roll, right? The reality is you just gotta keep deep diving, okay? And eventually you go past hunger, you go past normal, you go past hungry, and you end up starving by lunch, okay? And come lunch, because you're starving psychologically, we think we need a huge meal, so we go ahead and get one, and we ride the glucose roller coaster up to the top of the hill, and then it does the same thing where it crashes and burns. Very rarely during that roller coaster ride do we feel satisfied. You're either way oversatisfied or way undersatisfied, and that creates a lot of psychological issues, especially when you're trying to be focused on things other than food, okay? Or how you feel, like work, for example, okay? So we wanna eat protein with carbs and fats and balance that properly in order to steady the blood sugar and glucose levels, which will also therefore level out our energy levels, okay? Protein supports hormone balance and recovery, okay? So I could get into all the hormones, testosterone, cortisol, estrogen, and many more, progesterone, many more. The truth is if you do not have a proper amount of protein, those hormones don't have support. Okay, and most of my ladies struggle with getting enough protein to begin with. All right, it's just not easy, to be honest with you. Okay, unless you just absolutely obsess over it. And I don't want you obsessing over it. We got to make it more simple and easier than it is without obsessing over it. Okay, so that means no more dieting. That won't work. Okay, we've got to have some simple guidelines that don't qualify as a diet. Like, oh, I broke my diet. Okay, the reality is I want you to have guidelines that are simple enough for you to really always have with you in your mind. Okay. Another boring research study, but this one is all the way back to 1996, not brand new, but 6 meals per day lost more fat for individuals than a group eating 2 meals per day, even though the calories were the same. Okay? And I could talk shop all day nutritionally and about 3,500 calorie rule and all of that, but I think there's a lot to that. And in that study in 1996, what they're not telling you is that I think it has a lot to do with the psychology behind eating multiple meals in a day and taking care of yourself and having planned. And I think on the other side, if we just eat 2 meals a day, we think that we don't have to think about that. We think that it's unplanned. And the truth is, I think there's a psychology behind having a plan and having a routine. For example, I tend to eat a lot better that day if I wake up and I brush my teeth, comb my hair, and take my vitamins. It's just like, oh God, got my routine. Now, and you just try not to mess all that up the rest of the day. But if you wake up, you sleep in, you know, I don't know, lost your hairbrush or whatever, kids took it, whatever, and you're off routine, and then you rush out and you forgot your coffee and your lunch or whatever, and then everything's off, right? So the reality is, even if you knock out the same amount of calories, if we're on what I call the oh shit diet, okay? Oh shit, I didn't eat anything today. I didn't bring anything for breakfast, or not. I'm gonna do something now. My body's telling me, I want this roller coaster, and it ain't fun. Right? It was fun earlier, now it's not fun, and I don't have nothing with me. So we either leave or we DoorDash, right? And the truth is, they're both hard obstacles to kind of get around when we have goals that says not to do that, okay? So my big goal is to get you to pre-plan something, okay? Now, this is gonna help with this challenge. These are some guidelines for the challenge, okay? Very simple. We're gonna eat 3 to 6 meals. That includes snacks, okay? I can explain that. Every meal is gonna have a minimum of 30 grams of protein if you're really conscious about it, okay? That is the goal. That's shooting for the stars, but trust me, it's worth shooting for the stars just so you can land on the moon, okay? High quality protein sources also, all right? So unprocessed meat and or fish work great, okay? And yes, some vegetables have some protein in it too, but we're not actually putting those in and counting those protein. Those are just bonus proteins, okay? Starchy carbs for breakfast and or lunch, or post-workout only. So I'll show you a slide here in a minute that's going to explain that. Starchy carbs are something like your potato, your bread, or your rice. Yes, you get to eat that stuff, okay? 90% rule followed and tracked through the journaling link. So this is going to be our compliance tracker for the challenge, guys, okay? So what is going to happen is every night, starting Monday night, okay? Because that's day 1 of this challenge technically is Monday night. We have the whole weekend to get our ducks in a row after tonight, okay? But starting Monday night at 8 p.m., mine shows up at 8:03 for whatever reason, but around 8 p.m., automatically, you're going to get what we call a base journal, nutritional base journal text. And it's just simply a text from our phone number that you guys already have. There's a link to click on, and it takes less than 30 seconds, I promise, for you to click here. You're simply going to answer how many meals and snacks total, you're gonna answer, how many of these meals and snacks were intuitive? What I mean by that is, were these meals and snacks planned and you ate them because they were part of the meal plan? Or were they just kind of like, oh shit meal, okay? And sometimes you're gonna have those, and that's what I'm asking you, okay? Were these like completely, were these meals thought of and planned and fit the guidelines, or not at all, okay? And you got 0, some, or all. Exercise, how many minutes of exercise? Now, that's pretty vague, but that's on purpose, okay? All of it counts, meaning your exercise here counts that day, okay? On a day you're not here, you gotta find something to count for physical activity, and I'm recommending 15-minute minimum, okay? And you can use any of those other things or anything you can come up with. And if you ask me, I'll qualify it most likely if it's something physical, okay? So that's my whole point here is on workout days, your 2 workouts a week here, for example, okay? Track your 45 or 60-minute activity that you got in, and maybe you don't have to go to the track or the park that night, okay? But on the other days, that's my recommendation, is to do just that. Find something you can do for physical activity, maybe after dinner, maybe before, go on a walk, something, okay? And when this shows up at 8 p.m., that's what you're recording, if that makes sense, guys, okay? The idea at the 8 p.m. mark is that you should most likely have all of your meals eaten by that time. Maybe wrapping it up, gearing up for bed in the next hour or 2, okay? That would be ideal. Just throwing that out there, okay? But I'm not a, you can't eat past this time kind of guy. And the biggest reason why is because all of my clients I work with have completely different schedules, okay? So it really does matter that you get enough food in during the day. And if it's late at night, like it might be when we're leaving here, you still gotta eat something good because it's all about the protein, okay? All right, 5, plan ahead, okay? So that is pretty simple, right? That's the most simple, plan ahead. So it's kind of like, what does he mean plan ahead? I'm kind of like, Angie, what are you gonna have for breakfast tomorrow? Perfect, great. See, she's got a plan, okay? And that is, thanks for indulging me with that. But that's all I'm talking about. If you don't have a clue what you're having for dinner tonight after you leave here, for example, we're on the shit plan, aren't we? Let's change that, is all I'm saying, okay? Protein is king. Did I mention that yet? Okay. Here's a study for athletes, all right, essentially proving that they, in 2010, increased protein intake reduces lean body mass loss during weight loss in athletes. So again, a bunch of athletes worked on losing weight, and they were studied. As long as their protein was up, they didn't lose muscle. That's crucial, okay? Over here, this is actually higher protein diet for weight management in young, overweight women. Okay, and these young overweight women, I think the age group on this was in their 20s, and this was 2012, so a little bit newer than some of my other studies. The point is 12-month randomized controlled trial, so a whole year of this controlled diet, okay? Same calories, but over twice as much fat loss by the group that ate higher protein, okay? So it's like, protein is absolutely king. If there's one nutrient out of carbs, fats, and protein that you can get away with eating as much as you want, it's protein. Okay, it's kind of just that maybe that's not one we want as much as we want. And that's kind of how we adjust our recipes over the years and our snacks over the years. And I'm like, we're gonna go back to protein, okay?
That's how Tammy did it when on the 1,000-pound sisters. She just had protein.
So that's 100%, that's a great example because, if you're in a dramatic situation with weight loss, then the truth is, how much muscle do you even have? Can we afford to lose muscle? We're gonna die. Okay, like did you build enough muscle in your lifetime to even afford to lose all this muscle I keep talking about everyone losing? Because you only got so much muscle. That's a massive problem if we're walking around like, I don't have much muscle anyways. Right, well we definitely can't lose any then. Right, okay, cool. Here is, I think, what everybody likes to, really kind of spend some time on. I'm not gonna spend as much time on it as you guys might want me to tonight because everybody that signs up with me for the challenge is automatically getting this information emailed to them, okay? By tomorrow morning, okay? So that you have the weekend to study it. Now, quick reference though, this is what you will get explained in your email. Your email has a PDF explaining all of this as well as a video with the PDF behind me as I explain all of the documents in video form, okay? Now, so what's happening is we have a grocery list here. And this is the crucial part of the challenge. This is what makes the nutrition work, okay? Is most of our grocery lists currently are not working for us, okay? I hate to burst any bubbles, but that's usually the problem. If we're gonna start with a change, it usually starts with the grocery store. One of the hardest parts about this challenge will be this weekend, when you're grocery shopping and planning ahead for next week, starting Monday being day one, right? Well, the hardest part will be going and picking out your 3 or 4 favorite proteins from this list, your 3 or 4 favorite healthy fats, 3 or 4 favorite carbs, and maybe 2 or 3 of these healthy green vegetables, okay? And writing those down, and hear me out, sticking to the list. Does that scare anybody? I'm like, what if you do not plan on getting anything that you normally get, and you literally go off of these groceries that you picked, that you said you like? I'm like, don't buy the ones you don't like. Don't buy the, if you absolutely cannot eat white fish, don't buy white fish, okay? But I put plenty on there, plenty of options. And what we want to do is start by reducing and simplifying the grocery list, okay? Now, if we get enough from each category, you will have enough to put recipes together and balanced meals together. And that's the next step, is getting it all home and figuring out exactly how you want to do that. In the PDF and me explaining through the email that you'll get is my 90-minute meal prepping hack, which explains step-by-step how to get home and how to get your carbs out, how to get your proteins out, how to get your vegetables out, for example, and use your fats as a little bit of sauce in a few of the recipes, and you'll have your week's worth of meals cooked up in the next hour and a half, okay? So that's all in the email, okay? Now, if you want to sneak peek like tonight before I get you the email, you can scan this QR code. It will get it to you, okay? This is for the PDF list itself, okay? This is an example of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, okay? We take the color codes from the grocery list, and if you see blue represents protein, orange represents carbs, and green represents green vegetables, okay? Like high fibrous, like leafy, high fiber type vegetables. Basically, I'm going to use one of those each to make my breakfast, okay? Now, orange being the carb, what am I talking about specifically? I mean starchy carb, I said that earlier, like starchy carb like your potato, or your rice, or even your bread. I'm kind of specific, I give you like a fancy bread in here, Ezekiel bread to try it, I think you'll like it. The point is you're going to choose a carb, a protein, and a veggie to make your breakfast. You're also going to choose a carb, a protein, and a veggie to make your lunch, okay? These are based off the carb, protein, and veggies that you bought because you said you like them. And we get to use condiments and stuff to make them taste good in seasonings, but let's go with 0-calorie options. Let's go with 0-calorie condiments and 0-calorie seasonings, and you've got no problem. Just find the ones you like, okay? Now, dinner, if we've already had our 2 starchy carbs, like one for breakfast, one for lunch, maybe we avoid the starchy carb for dinner and we add a healthy fat to the recipe, okay? Maybe this is where we have our fish with our olive oil and our Brussels sprouts and avoid the starchy carb for dinner, assuming we've already had 2 that day. Okay, guys? Now, what you see in between, there's snacks. I don't know if you can see it there in the back. It says snacks, okay? It says half portion of protein. So in the beginning, if you're super hungry, do a full portion of protein, but a half portion works too. And I'm talking protein now, so now we're not going to snack on fruits or veggies, even though they're healthy. Fruits and veggies are very healthy for you, but they're not good for burning fat. Protein is. I've tried to kind of drive that home here recently, but I'm like, honestly, when it comes down to your snacks, if you will grab a boiled egg or 2, or if you will grab a beef jerky stick or a tuna packet or half a lean burger patty from lunch earlier, okay? It's like, if you will snack on protein, you will be totally satisfied after a few bites, and you'll be good for the next couple hours until your next meal, okay? And the only thing this doesn't say is your 6th meal, which might be a 3rd snack. If you had to have a 3rd snack, protein. It's protein, okay, guys? So, thanks for listening to that, because I'm not going into super big detail, but I promise you it's a 15-minute video on YouTube that you will click on the link, and in 15 minutes you'll have all of your questions answered on like, what should I do for like the first week of nutrition, okay? That's my quick spiel, okay? Any questions on that before you see the email?
There's going to be no fruit. Is that what I'm seeing from this?
Actually, fruit falls in the carbs category, okay? So if you're gonna eat an apple or something like that, it counts as the starchy carb, for example. It would replace your potato on the plate, okay? Good question.
That's what I was.
Yep.
I knew it was a carb, but that's what I just didn't know if you would.
Yeah, and then I explained real thoroughly in the video, or I tried
Because it
to.
turns to sugar.
What's that?
Because it turns to sugar.
Correct. That's why we call it carb. Now, there are vegetables that act exactly like that,
Yeah.
and then there are vegetables that don't. The vegetables that I'm referring to, and I put these green marks here, are the ones that don't act like fruits, which are high fiber, leafy type of vegetables. Okay, your asparagus, kale, spinach, leaf, all that stuff. Okay, good stuff. But then you've got things like turnips, for example. Okay, I'm trying to think about carrots, peas, corn, squash. okay? These are vegetables that aren't very healthy for you, but they're high in glucose, and they spike your glucose, and they make you get right on, even though you're eating healthy, you get right on the glucose roller coaster I was telling you about, and then we crash and burn, and we go through this, we have no idea why we're starving by the end of the day. And the reality is we needed more protein and less anything else,
Right.
okay? So I'm like, if we're already trying to cut the calories back, let's not have 6 large meals, let's have 3 regular meals and 2 to 3 protein snacks in between, okay? And I promise, it will help with cravings and stuff. It's not like you're going to crave things like that more. You will stop craving the sweets and the stuff like that. The sweets that you're snacking on right now, if anyone sits at a computer or drives a vehicle and snacks like this, even if it's crunchy chips or something like that, if you can replace that with a solid couple bites of protein, after a slight learning curve, maybe 2 days, 3 days, you will not want the other stuff anymore. You will want the protein.
But this is not keto, right?
Sorry?
It's not a keto diet?
Keto, no, correct. So it's not. So no, I'm not a low carb, no carb guy. Okay, I'm not. I'm like, let's balance this. I mean, I'll be honest. The video, quick tutorial, and I gotta move on or we won't get done with this tonight. But quick video. In the video, I explain portions with hand portion sizes, guys. It's so simple. I want the grocery list color coded, and I want your portion control to be memorized in your head because it's so simple. And I want your tools, your measuring tools, to always be with you. So I don't want you to have to break out a measuring cup or a kitchen scale because you went to Applebee's or whatever. Okay? I want you to look at the plate even before you order it and be like, that would be enough protein, and maybe that's a little too much carbs, or you know what? I'll take the broccoli. Okay? So the reality is yeah, it will make very good sense if you guys will take me up on watching that 15-minute video. That's your homework, and it will also help you know how to put together your grocery list for this, okay? All right, this is, if you feel like downloading that video or just watching it tonight, because I won't get to email it to you guys till tomorrow, okay? And you'll get the email for signing up for the challenge, okay? But it's all there. Supplementation, we talked a lot about food. I will always teach food before supplements, okay? If you can't plan a little bit ahead and buy some decent food at the grocery store and stuff, then there isn't a supplement in the world that's gonna fix the problem, okay? I happen to have a great affiliation with a great supplement company called Prestige Labs. I sell them off my shelf in there. I also sell them online at my discounted rate. Now, this is 40 to 50% off the retail pricing for all of my members, and that includes if you're doing a drop 2 sizes with me, okay? If you feel like taking your phone out right now and scanning a code, you'll get all those discounts tonight. We have energy pre-workout, we have recovery stuff, we've got cravings crusher for when you're kind of like a nighttime munchy person. Well, it's actually not, but they did kind of make the packaging look new. But they changed the name of it.
I was gonna say.
It was our PM, it was called PM. So it's a nighttime cravings crusher,
Yeah.
okay, they call it crush now. Fuel is our protein. I've got lots of great tasting proteins in the other room. We've got enhanced sleep, heat, thermogenic fat burner with no caffeine, it's great. Balance, which is for essential fatty acid hormone balance, and then we've got a couple multivitamins, one for him, one for her. And we've got all kinds of other stuff, guys. I put some of my favorite top sellers up there. But I also, while I'm talking about supplements, I really want to just point over to Miss Melanie over there. And please spend a few minutes here when I get done walking over there. Check out both booths. But I know Melanie wants to be able to maybe ask if you're participating in the challenge. You're going to get one of those great goodie bags over there. You'll receive it on your first visit next week with me, whether it's a workout or an accountability meeting. And she's going to actually let you, as an individual participating, customize your goodie bag. So she'll ask you, what stage of supplements you'd like in it, and it's going to be really, really cool, okay? So go see her as soon as we're done here. And I'm trying to wrap her up, guys, because we got to talk about hormone balance real quick. Better hormones, better results, okay? Now, strength training plus protein helps reduce cortisol and stabilize estrogen, okay? So it works if we eat right and we strength train, okay? Those have to be in combination, which is why I've started with those two. Balanced hormones equals less belly fat, better mood, and long-term weight loss because it's fat loss, okay? Instead of just losing the muscle, we lose the fat. Also, calorie deficit without muscle loss is like the main goal. Keep in mind, we have to be in calorie deficit no matter what. It's almost guaranteed for your body to want to lose muscle. We have to strength train and feed it enough protein during this calorie deficit to not let it, okay? That's how we get long-term results, okay? So, a quick special thank you to the Boulevard, as well as Earth Mother, as well as Optimal Health and Wellness Clinic and Bauer Wellness Clinic, because they couldn't be here tonight, but they have some rewards and some incentives for you guys too, okay? There are a couple different wellness clinics here in Farmington. was I gonna put? Oh yeah, over $800 in gift certificates and discounts for all finishers and participants, okay? Check this out. The Boulevard back there, extremely generous and awesome during the challenge, starting Monday through November 20th. All participants get 50% off of their red light therapy and tanning packages, okay? For the next 2 months, starting Monday, okay? We get you signed up when you come in for your first visit next week. I have one of these cards from the Boulevard that says you are a participant, and you have to keep this for 2 months and show it at the front desk to get your 50% off, okay? For finishers of this challenge, drop 2 sizes finishers. And what does that mean? That means you don't quit the whole time and you show up to all of your visits, okay? Even if we have to reschedule something, I want you to come to your 2 workouts a week and your 8 accountability sessions, okay? So we come to all the visits, we complete the visits, and we don't quit, okay? Then 30 days of red light therapy for a $200 value. They're giving you a gift card for that, free. 30 days of unlimited tanning, $80 value, free, and 60-minute relaxation massage. How good is that? You guys get a massage, and if you're into red light therapy, you should be, okay? And I give you a million reasons why infrared and red light therapy is very, very, very good for you. And hormone balance and recovery, all of the above, guys. And unlimited tanning, okay? It's that time of year, ain't it? Come on, I have like half my clients kind of complaining that they just had to close their pools. And I'm like, oh, you like swimming in your pool? And they're like, no, I just lay out next to it. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, then maybe do a tanning bed thing or whatever. Okay, I got it. Point is just these guys alone are tossing in the 50% discounts for the next, on those services for the next 2 months, which is amazing by itself. But if you finish with this, you get $375 worth of gift certificates for them, okay, in their business. And if you don't know where they're at, they're down off Karsh. Okay, just a little bit. They've got the great building that's being redone. It's really beautiful down there now. It looks really nice down there. Okay, Earth Mother over here, okay. Miss Melanie, who is also, I like to brag on Melanie, she's also a client of mine, so I love having her here. She's representing Earth Mother at the moment. Now, they are giving the bundles that we talked about. Now, there's over $75 worth of samples, and she's got like $5 off, $25 coupons and everything to Earth Mother. So every single bag is worth over $75 or stuff, and she's gonna let you actually customize some of the products that are going into it, okay? And this is, the cool thing is you're gonna receive this bag, come your first visit, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday this next week. I'll be giving it to you, and that way you can utilize the samples and or the coupons throughout the challenge as well, okay? Optimal Health, who couldn't be here, but they wanted to be, Ethan, can I be maybe pass this out real quick? So that is simply an informational card from them, and what they're offering for the finishers is a $100 gift certificate to their place, okay? And so we'll sign you up, we'll get you all ready to go. What do? They work on metabolic insights, they have wellness shots, they have the, what am I trying to say, semi-glutide shots, they do all of that, which is not what I'm an expert in by any means, but if all of those are different tools to put in your toolbox, I'm the guy that can help you utilize the toolbox the best. Okay, so I'm not anti-anything. What I want you to do is go talk to the doctor. What these guys are gonna do first is they're gonna do a blood panel with you. Okay, they wanna look at your blood with you. They wanna figure out what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. They wanna talk about your goals. And I will say the nurse practitioner there that is in charge of that sort of thing there is also a client of ours. So I trust her very much. And her name is Michelle. She just could not be here this evening. So anyways, we finish, we get a $100 gift certificate to that place as well. And then Valor Wellness Clinic is a new wellness clinic in Farmington, okay? They have something very special that I'm gonna talk to you guys about. And also, you should talk to your friends about it, okay? I got one more flyer to hand out to you. And what's going on here is Valor has what's called an M-Cella machine. So I'm gonna just kind of let you take one past the stack. That's okay. Small enough for everybody here, I think. So Valor has what's called an M-Cell machine. I am not familiar on the science, and that's not kind of what I do, but I do want to explain it because I think it's amazing for my clientele. So this helps you regain bladder control and confidence. Okay, this is a machine that looks like this, like a chair. Okay, bladder control issues, leakage, incontinence are common concerns as we age, often caused by weakened pelvic fluid. Symptoms like sudden urgency or urinary incontinence can disrupt daily life, impact your sense of freedom. At Valor Wellness, our non-invasive M-Cell treatment strengthens the pelvic floor to improve bladder control with no surgery, no downtime. The treatment Takes 28 minutes per treatment. There's no downtime or recovery time. Okay, so 28 minutes per treatment. What I was told is this is reported to be able to cure incontinence when nothing else would. In I think as few as 6 treatments. Okay, now each treatment has a value of about $300. So it gives you an idea of what the whole treatment plan will cost if you do 6. Okay, this is a place in Farmington, and what they're doing is they're offering for the drop 2 sizes participants. Okay, and this is something that you can use if you're participating. You can walk in and sign up for your first session free. Okay, which is $300 there. I think that's neat because we joke a little around here, but like I write programs for a living, and my main demographic is females ages 40 to 65. So the truth is we have that incontinence conversation a lot here. Okay, it's very, very common. We have to watch who we give jump rope to and jumping jacks and everything around here. Okay, that's very, very normal, and not be embarrassed about it. It's just something that gets brought up for us. But my point is I've never really had a treatment plan that I really thought I could like send somebody to. I've had a lot of clients that have just been through the ringer with it, and I'm excited for them to go try this. So the reality is I think this is a pretty neat offer. Now the flyer I handed out to you, okay, through Valor, okay? So that is an informational flyer from Valor, okay? But I have to be 100% transparent. They are going to have, come tomorrow morning, they're going to have a list of names of people that have signed up, and they're going to cross-reference that list with individuals that walk in and would like a free session for being in the Drop 2 Sizes Challenge, okay? So there is a coupon on all of your guys' flyer down at the bottom, but you got to sign up with me for Drop 2 Sizes if you haven't already to utilize that free installer session, okay? But they will be happy to accommodate you if you're on their list, okay? All right, cool. Now, what in the world's included in this Drop 2 Sizes? I probably got everybody confused. We talked about nutrition, we talked about strength training, we talked about the Boulevard and Earth Mother and Optimal Health and Valor, okay? What's included is well over $800 in discounts and rewards at the end, okay? I think I just showed you that. Flexible and customizable fat burning meal plan. We talked about grocery list, meal planning guidelines, recipes, and more. $99 value, but that's included in this, okay, in the form of an email tomorrow. Now, I gave you one more flyer. I told you about Simeo, but the other flyer is an anti-inflammatory dietary reset, okay? Now, that has a QR code on it and would cost $99 to purchase through that. But what this is this is a step up from the phase 1 level of nutrition, simple protein, vegetable, carb. This is a step up. This has sample diets for when you're on a workout, when you're not on a workout. And the step up is in the anti-inflammatory department, okay? It's all about high antioxidants in this case. It's about maybe a difference of training day sample diets versus non-training day sample diets. I use apple cider vinegar every single day as a protocol in this anti-inflammatory diet. And I explain all of that in video form. It's over an hour and a half of 4 and 5 minute clips of me explaining these videos, and they're all in chapters, almost like a book. You simply click the chapter you want to listen to me talk about, and it goes right there. This is a program that automatically gets put in your Bridge Athletic app, which is the same app with personal training through here. So it works really seamless if you're a training client, but you don't have to be. Point is, I want you to know that is not required for this Drop 2 Sizes challenge, but it will absolutely work for fat burning and muscle retention, just like the normal phase 1 diet that I'm promoting for this. But it's a step up in the anti-inflammatory department, okay? Now, I want to give you guys, if you're interested, a quick code to make it $50 off. If you want the step up level of nutrition for anti-inflammatory, please scan that QR code. But if you want to jot this down on that paper, the code, or the discount code to get $50 off, it'll be $49, is hashtag active50, okay? Active50. Will get you $50 off of that $99 anti-inflammatory dietary reset guide.
Is any of that capitalized?
No. And I don't think it would matter if you did, okay? But let me know. If you guys have trouble purchasing it with that discount code, let me know. I'll fix it or I'll figure it out, okay? But I want you guys to get $50 off for being here, even if you're not a full-time member with me. That's my member discount, by the way. But if you're not a full-time member with me, then in that case, I want you to have that $50 discount just for being here tonight, okay? Now, what I'm getting at here is, there's 2 options there, okay, on nutrition. Customized strength and mobility program with coaching, guidance, and accountability for all 8 weeks, okay? That's well over a $600 value if you just sign up with us for personal training, okay? My clients will vouch for that. In this case, you're also getting one-on-one weekly accountability meetings with your accountability coach, which is going to be me, okay? We'll pre-book those. You've noticed the accountability meeting flyer there at the end. And a nightly journal text to help you help track your compliance and progress. So back in the day, what we would do sometimes if someone wasn't going to do personal training, but they just wanted accountabilities for $49, I'd sign you up on a base journal like this, and you fill this out, and then you meet with me once a month. So this is kind of like an accountability program all by itself that's kind of just factored into it, okay? Obviously, the math is over $1,900 right there, okay? How about we X86 to 1,900 on that? If you're a personal training member of mine and you have not signed up for this yet, you get to sign up for the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle, and get all the prizes and rewards for $197 on top of your normal personal training, okay? If you are a personal training member of mine and you brought in a non-member who's gonna sign up for this, then your $197 fee is waived, okay? So you get it for free and they'll get to choose a non-member option. The two non-member options for this challenge, one is remote online training, where I do give you 2 workouts a week to follow, but they're in an app on your phone, and you still are able to come in once a week to do the accountability with me in person, okay? Just do the workouts on your own. In that case, we pay $197 down. That would be due tonight, okay? And I would be expecting your payment form to be filled out and turned in for that option. And then I automatically set up the billing according to 2 weeks out, every 2 weeks for $99.50 after that. Now the next option is the in-person option. This would be just like signing up with us for personal training, except the extras on the accountability and the base journal and the celebration and tonight also. But $197 down for that option too, and then every 2 weeks is billed $159.50 for the whole duration of 8 weeks. In total, it's $835 for that option, and you can pay it full, but there's no discount, okay? Now, the other side of this is the accountability meetings, okay? What I need before you guys leave, if you're signing up or if you've already signed up and haven't actually, you haven't booked the accountability meetings, because I got people in this room that have signed up already and that I know are booked, and then maybe some people that aren't. But point is please fill this out for me and turn this in to Ethan on your way out. After checking out these great tables over here for just a minute. But this will help me figure out, I'll be able to reach out tomorrow and verify a time slot that'll work for you and me for accountability meetings. And it's a one-on-one, 30-minute sit down where we're gonna go over some struggles and then some action steps and tweak it. If it doesn't take 30 minutes, great, okay? But we wanted to hold you accountable because 8 weeks ends up being kind of like the real deal. It's a long time. Week 4, week 5 shows up, people are like, oh man. And it's gonna be that accountability meeting that you sit down and you have a heart-to-heart sometimes. It's gonna work, okay? It'll keep us in on it, okay? So remember, we can't be perfectionists. That won't work. We can only focus on progress. That should be the mantra. Say progress, not perfection. All right, now who's thinking in their mind? Who's ready? It's time for a change, okay? And thank you guys very much for coming. Please fill out, if you're signed up and haven't already paid, please fill out the payment form and the accountability form, and let's get those signed up, turned in with Ethan. And then don't forget, mark your calendars in this case for November 20th, because November 20th is a Thursday night, just like tonight, okay? 1 week before Thanksgiving night, that's our celebration night. Here's what we're gonna do. You guys, the only thing I haven't really said yet is that this is drop 2 sizes, which means instead of getting on the scale, what I want for your first visit, okay, when you come in for your first workout or accountability meeting next week, whichever one's first, you bring in a pair of jeans. It's up to 2 sizes too small, okay? If you've got it in your closet and you just wanna, pull them out and fit into them again, or if you wanna go buy a pair, that's great too. But up to 2 sizes too small, bring those in with you for your first visit, okay? And I'm gonna store them in the back with your name on a post-it note next to them, okay? And what's gonna happen is the whole 8 weeks, I'm keeping them back here, okay? November 20th, mark your calendar right off the bat, because we're gonna have a celebration night here where, we'll do a little fake red carpet rollout thing, and I'll have my wonderful nephew here, who's a great videographer and photographer, and we'll do a little photo shoot of our jeans fitting. And I'm gonna have a great drop, I dropped 2 sizes in 8 weeks, that's all personal training t-shirt for you, okay? And we'll have a group photo, and I've got another client who's a great chef, and we might have him cook us up some steak and bring it in or something like that, okay? Michael can make some steak, that's not a joke at all. So, but I'm for real, we want to have fun with that celebration, and it will be fun if we're all rocking our jeans 1 week before Thanksgiving. Like, let's all go get hot before the holidays. All right? By the way, we call these thermometer jeans because they tell you if you're hot or not. And we pull them up, and oh yeah, that's what's up. So that's what we're shooting for, guys. Okay, it's just the idea that instead of being on the scale and checking progress that way, we're going to utilize our jeans. We're going to stay off the scale, and we're going to have our accountability meetings to speak about. If you feel like your clothes are fitting different, if you feel like you're feeling better, have some energy levels, okay, we're gonna address everything individually during the meeting, okay guys? So that's it, celebration night, November 20th, 6 p.m. It's here. I'll be reminding you guys and all that. But please turn in payment forms and accountability forms if you haven't already to Coach Ethan over there. And that's it. Let's turn the music back on, Ethan. And let's come over here because I'm going to kind of check out some of the things that both Melanie and Boulevard have. You guys, thank you so much for coming. That is it, okay?
Thank you. The response that you got for the other challenge.
It is. Yep. It's I think you would really like it. I do. And you know, it's like I said, it's video stuff, but you don't have to, you can binge watch it, or you can watch it a little bit at a time, only a few minutes at a time. Yeah. It just depends on like what you're working, like exercise. Like, I think, Kristen, I think that sounds like it's a good idea. And which, I mean, you don't have to purchase that to use outside your house. But my thing is that all-inclusive is a great way to go. They're just burn fat and they're so efficient. But in fairness, it's a little bit more on the fingers side. And so that's so the other version's how you do this. I'm going to email that to you no matter what. But if you decide to purchase it before that, I think